うん Good morning. Good morning. Let's have a look at Bitcoin quickly. Trend line. That one. Okay, so what have we got yesterday? Let's have a look at the daily candles. Okay. Interesting. So we closed underneath this daily level. We had a reaction from this daily level. So we have two daily levels at the moment in this range. Where's my levels? Those lower ones. Higher time frame levels. There it is. Got this weekly level here, got this daily level here, which has been tapped. And then you've got this one that I was interested in yesterday, which is now tapped. You've got this one higher up. And then you've got this one, which yesterday's daily candle closed underneath that daily level. It's obviously a wash level, but it's a clue. You have a reaction from this one, but you close lower than 50% underneath this daily level. I think the reaction at the bottom is bullish, but actually in the context of closing underneath this 50% mark, underneath this daily level in the highs, it's probably quite bearish. It's probably quite bearish. If this was somewhere in the lows of a range of a downward move, I think it would be probably more bullish, or bullish even, just because of the reaction. So I'm not quite fond of this reaction, and I'm feeling a little bit bearish right now. This daily level is now obviously cleared and washed, so I don't think it's relevant. Let me have a look. Not really relevant. You can see how the price doesn't respect it. So I'll delete that. And then obviously yesterday we had this untapped daily level, and that was relevant. And what you see is the price went down to touch the weekly level in the previous bull market, all-time high, and then you had a reaction. Okay. So I've been tracking this on the local price action for ever since it formed, and my initial idea was either a megaphone, okay, or a diamond. So I had two ideas in my thought process: a diamond or a megaphone. If you overlap them, that's the megaphone. This is the diamond. And I think for continuation on the megaphone, we should have gone up by now. So I would say, to all intents and purposes, the megaphone is not necessarily valid at the moment, or it's not invalid, but it's not valid in the sense that you'd expect a push up now, or maybe we'd go down and then push up. I don't know. I'm not fond of the megaphone anymore. It's not great, but I'll keep it for reference. And then the other idea that I have is this harmonic idea that I'm thinking about still. So where is my harmonic? Here. So we have a little bit of a harmonic potential. Now, you don't really trade the C, you trade the D with harmonics. You wait for them to complete, then you trade the completion. Okay, so if we get a move down and we come down to, by the 5th or so of April, we're down here, and we take out the liquidity from this low here, and then we come back above this previous low like a swing failure, then you'd have a really easy invalidation and you could take the trade. and you're probably pumping, but it's looking like a bullish. This is a bullish harmonic. Yeah. So the only, I mean, you could take the short, but the reason why you wouldn't necessarily target the low, because you're trying to still get through a lot of support lines, and so at any point in time the price could easily find support anywhere really and go right back up. Yeah, it's always possible for that to happen, always possible. So that's why you don't necessarily trade the C, you wait for the D. Okay, but if you do trade the C, then right now you'd have a slightly wider invalidation up to the C point, and effectively that's your trade. Yeah, that's your trade. You don't have the great ROI at the moment, but if it does move to the downside, then your ROI is off the charts. You know, you have a really good ROI. It's a 1 to 6 based on that invalidation. But the thing that I'm saying is that it is possible to find support. You're still okay, potentially to a 1 to 2 with a wide invalidation. The idea would be, it'd be better to try and reduce the invalidation in your trades. That's a bit too wide for my liking. Yeah, because if the price does start pumping now, it's gonna be terrible for if you're in a short. Okay, just see where that was before. Oh, it's up there. So let's just keep an eye on this harmonic. So, and then we'll go back to what I was originally thinking, which was this diamond pattern. Before I go into the diamond pattern, let me just see if the volume has changed in this range. So I'm going to do a volume pool. I'll get my volume levels out. Point of control, same place. Value area high has moved up, bizarrely. Maybe because we're on the 30-minute time frame. Let me go a little bit higher to the 2-hour time frame and see if there's much of a change. Nope, the volume area has moved up to there. Value area, so the volume area is widened a little bit. Point of control is exactly where it was. High volume node is still there. We're above it. Not much real difference. Putting a little bit of volume up here, but not much. So that's that. Let me hide that. That doesn't really help. Get rid of these fixed ranges. Okay. Going back to my original idea, which was a diamond. Once you put in your 2 pivots, there's your higher high, that's your lower low, and now you're trying to make lower highs and higher lows. So I had this trading plan from yesterday. I took the trade actually, and I took my profit already. And basically what I was looking for was a reaction. I didn't catch a falling knife. I don't do that. I did think that it would potentially go lower than this swing failure level here. Then here, I thought it could go lower, but I didn't catch that price action. I let it do its thing. And then as the price started to reverse, I was looking for an invalidation. And so once we put in this candle here, this 30-minute candle with a wick, that was my invalidation, and I took a long as the price was coming back above the SFP level on the lower time frame. As you see, as the price is coming back above it, that was my trade. I took it, and it's basically that was my 1%, risk 1%, and I risked a little bit less actually, and I took my profit this morning as it went up into that high. I took my profit, and that was a successful trade, just waiting for the right circumstances. So the trade idea was correct. You see how I had this idea that potentially it will go lower, it will come above, it will come under, and then it will go up. So it kind of did that. Maybe it did it a little bit condensed in terms of timings, but it doesn't matter. The idea was correct. And I do have this going up a little bit higher. I'm thinking higher still. I'm not thinking we're just going to go down now. So that long is done. It is looking a little bit like a head and shoulders pattern here. We have had a swing failure here. That's so shorts have loaded up, and I'm still thinking a little bit higher. I'm thinking higher because I want to short up there. Mainly because there's some single prints I think need to be filled, and then I think it would be good to go up into this naked session point of control, kind of get a rejection from this higher range, take out the liquidity from this pivot over here, potentially put in your lower high, and then make your way down. Potentially tomorrow start making your way down, and tomorrow would be the end of the month. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking higher right now. I'm not taking a long because I'm already in a long. The long is a runner, so if we do get up there, I'll probably close my long and I'll be looking to short. Again, the same idea. I'll be looking for an invalidation first. There is a nice pivot there, so if we do get a swing failure into the naked session point of control, into these single prints, I think there's a good short potential there, and that will be a nice short. So I think I have an alert anyway. So that's my area of interest for a lower high on this diamond idea. Good morning, Sebastian, welcome. Thank you for joining me. And that's basically it. I'm not thinking higher right now. So my trading idea is a short here at the end of the month, breakdown, and I'm looking for a long over here, down here, and to reject this diamond pattern, because it's a bearish diamond pattern, because it's forming in the highs, to reject, and the rejection would be this. You've got this triangle back test, and you've got the volume range point of control. Mixed in there, you've got some single prints, okay, and we don't have any higher time frame levels, unfortunately. Maybe to touch the bottom of this megaphone idea still, maybe it's still in play, maybe it's a little bit more prolonged, and then you go in there and you push your pump. Now the question is, can you get through this previous bull market all-time high, or do you get a rejection? Yeah, that's the question. Because if you pump after you come down here and you get back into the previous bull market all-time high, you get back into this local range here, then you invalidate the diamond pattern, and actually this becomes extremely bullish, and you're heading up. You're heading right up to the top, and probably heading to an all-time high. Okay, if this was to reject, if this diamond pattern was to fail, I would, and we pumped and we were able to reclaim this previous bull market all-time high, then I would expect a pump all the way to new all-time highs. That's what I would expect. And then the question when it comes to this, do you get a rejection off the top of this like that, or do you just kind of keep on going, you know, because it's a megaphone effectively. That's effectively a megaphone. If you go from a low to a high, yeah, after you've invalidated the bearish pattern, that's really bullish. How does that fit into the idea of an ABC on a corrective move? Well, let me just put these into my diamond idea here. The trade idea is here. This is the trade plan. That's gone. This is all gone. I can clean that up. And I'm still looking to short higher up to today or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. Maybe tonight. Who knows? You could short up there. And then if you're breaking out on the diamond, you're longing up there. Get rid of all that now. And then possibly a short over here. If you get a rejection after you bounce off the point of control, if you see a reaction and it rejects the weekly level there, you could, that's a short there as well. But you'd have to see the price react, get a clear rejection. So you have an invalidation. So it's all about having an invalidation. Once you know you have an invalidation, you can take the trade. But I think this is quite a good area of interest down here. Let me just get rid of this stuff so it's not. Put that into there. Yeah. Let me just go on the out. Zoom out a little bit. I'm not sure if there's any fib lines. Let me just check. Kind of golden pocket off this pivot here. Kind of, not great. Yeah, maybe off this pivot here. There's a pivot here, you see. You could if you do a fib pull from that pivot. I'm just gonna use the magnet tool to get it there accurate. See, that kind of comes into the golden pocket too. So there's a lot of potentially a lot of confluence into that area of interest. And I'll be looking for a long there. And if we get a really strong reaction, then we're heading to the top of this potential megaphone idea that I have. And then let's see, because by the time it gets there, that'll be a new all-time high. Do you get a rejection, which will be a swing failure? That will be a short idea. Or do you get continuation? Right, that's kind of what I'm imagining right now. I am thinking a little bit higher today, potentially. Why am I thinking higher? Let me explain. Let me just sort this out so I have it clear. So short phone, megaphone. That's fine. What's that one? Trend line. Keep that. Get rid of that. Get rid of these now. Okay. I'm thinking a little bit higher now because I can see some very strong bullish divergence on XO charts. Let me just pull that up and show you. This is the 5-minute time frame, but you can see that as the price has moved up, you can clearly see that your CVD, which is market selling, has gone down. The line has gone down. That means market selling is being absorbed. There's an absorption there. Ever since we dropped down into the previous bull market all-time high and bounced, we've just been making lower lows on the CVD and we've just been making higher lows on the price. Yeah. So despite all of the market selling, the price keeps on going up. So what's happening is you have absorption. We're getting absorption on the price. And so I am still thinking higher at the moment. It is looking like a head and shoulders. So maybe shorts are loading up. And what you can also see is in this is the rise of price. You can start seeing the OI is kind of going up a little bit. But when you do on closer inspection, it's actually when the price is declining. You see that? So even though on average the OI is going up, when you're looking at it on closer inspection, you see the OI is going up, the price is declining. So actually shorts are being absorbed. So I kind of have this thought that maybe we're going to get a little bit of a short squeeze first for higher prices. That's what I'm thinking right now. You see how the OI is going up, the CVD is going down, the price is going down. So people are shorting in this range, in this decline of price, and it's being absorbed. You're getting higher lows. So I'm feeling a little bit bullish in the local time frame. So I am thinking a little bit higher right now. And maybe we just push up for me to get the opportunity to short that rise in price. That would bring us to that. That would be that. And a golden pocket there. Let me just make sure that those are accurate. I can get rid of this one now. And this one, I'm looking for the golden pocket. Let me just make sure the pivots are put in correctly. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of swing failure that high, golden pockets, pocket, and some single prints there. Fill the single prints. You've got a session point of control as well there. There. So just wait for the reaction and then just take the trade, and then hopefully that will complete the lower high on this diamond formation, and then we're heading right back down. And then I'll be targeting down here. Actually, I'd be thinking let's go down to the point of control, probably, because I may not be aggressive with my profit take. That's my point. Good morning, Zahid Shah, welcome. As I was explaining slightly earlier in this update, if we do go up and get a rejection, then I'll be looking to come down to here where I've got these single prints, where I've got the point of control. The point of control right now is at about 67,230. And then if we do get there, I will be looking to take a long. Okay. And I've got, it's an area of interest of mine. And maybe we'll pump up after we come down there. So I won't be holding my shorts beyond the point of control. And I'll be looking to take a long. I'll be looking to flip that into a long. Once I see I have an invalidation, something like this, where it goes down and then you have a little invalidation, then I'll be targeting the all-time high. That's kind of what I'm imagining. If I see the price come up and can't get back above this previous bull market all-time high, and you just find resistance and you get a rejection, I'll close my long and I'll flip short. Yeah, I won't hold my long. That will be it. And maybe I'll take profit there anyway. Okay, maybe I'll skim some profit right there just in case that happens. So that will probably be my first take profit. And then if I see a rejection there, I'll probably flip short, because effectively what's happening is you're just coming in to back test the underside of this diamond before we continue to go down. So no one knows if patterns are going to succeed or not. No one knows. I see a pattern. It's to me, it looks like a diamond. It's a bearish diamond because it's in the highs and the price has come into the diamond from the lows. But no one knows if the pattern is going to complete. And for the pattern to complete, you're going down, because that's a bearish pattern in the highs. That's a reversal pattern. If you want that, for that pattern to complete, you're going all the way down to way down. Yeah. So if you see a reaction, there probably will be a reaction on the point of control. If you come up and you see that you can't get back above the previous bull market all-time high, then this pattern looks like it's holding, it's valid, because you just can't get back into the pattern. If you get back into the pattern, then the pattern becomes invalidated, and that's actually really bullish. So you have to flip from bearish to bullish immediately. Once you see a bearish pattern invalidated, then that's bullish. Yeah, it's like head and shoulders. If you see a head and shoulders pattern and it's invalidated because the price goes down and then comes right back into the pattern, you have to change your bias from bearish to bullish immediately. Okay, because it's not bearish to complete a pattern or to break out of a pattern to the downside and then come right back into it. Yeah, that's not bearish. That's actually quite bullish. So if we do have a breakdown, I'll be looking for this area to take along, and I'll be looking to see if we can get back into the pattern or if we get a rejection from the previous bull market all-time high. And that's kind of what I'm imagining. This is just one idea. There's 1,000,001 ideas out there, but just based on what I'm seeing, this is what I'm thinking. Now, anything can change, and because the way things can change really quickly, you just have to reevaluate if you see a change. Yeah, at the moment this is what it looks like, and it could change into something else instantly. Yeah, it's all based on price action. It's all based on supply and demand. It's all based on the markets, and no one can predict the markets. The markets are very fluid and they change dynamically. And so at the moment, this is what I'm thinking of right now. All right, so that's my BTC update. On the higher time frame, I'm still thinking ABC. Nothing's changed, but I don't know if that's your A. I don't know if the B ends here for a C, or I don't know if we have an A here and this is just the B continues, like, because you know the way it works, ABC, it's also ABC within the ABC. Yeah, so let me see how this works. Let me just kind of draw this. Let me see. ABC. I mean, this looks like a 5-wave. It's like the A, B, C, D, E. A, B, C, A, B, C. It's hard to tell. I kind of think this is all one, to be honest with you. So I am actually thinking this is like an A, B, C. But then would that be an A, B, C there? A, B, C. Then what is this? A, B, C. Then you go up. I'm actually thinking something else. So when I look at the daily time frame, and it all depends on what happens as if and when we go down can we get back up or not? But I am thinking maybe somehow you have an ABC here, and you might have an ABC there. This is a weird one, huh? For another ABC. And then that would be your correction. That's what I'm thinking right now. If we go up. And it depends on how far up we go. Because, you know, you could suddenly just pump up to 80k. And we'd have to look at the targets if we do start pumping up. And then this correction is going to be really important. Because how far do you correct? Do you come back into this pivot that's been put in here and then continue lower? Or do you get more of a flat correction where it's like this? And that would be just as fine. You know, that would be your correction. And people are thinking we're going to correct and therefore we're going down. It's not necessarily true. Like you just don't know how this is going to correct. Okay. I do think though, we should get a push up when Bitcoin halves. I really think that's likely to happen, because I think you're just going to get a seller and buyer imbalance in the market when Bitcoin halves. The output of Bitcoin reduces from 6 or so Bitcoin to 3 or so Bitcoin per 10 minutes. And people are going to be less likely to sell for a period of time, maybe 6 months. The miners will just hold for a little bit longer. And that's what's going to cause a rise in price, an increase in price. So I do think probably by the end of April, we will go up. So we're just going to correct in the beginning of April. And the question is, do we go down now, or do we go up to go down to go up? You know, which one is more bullish? I think for higher prices, going up is more bullish if we want higher prices. I think going down is more bullish in the sense that you can make more percentage gains, but only if you're a trader, only if you're trading, because you have a really easy entry on a swing failure and then your percentage gains are higher. But when it comes to higher prices of people who are hodling, it's always more bullish to have a flat correction or an extended flat where the correction ends up in the highs. It's always more bullish. If you're hodling, that's always more bullish, because when you end up with a flat correction like that, or an extended flat, but you end up correcting in the highs, then when you do a trend-based fib target, fib pool, the two ends there basically, instead of ending down here. So you have higher targets. And so let's just say, for the sake of argument, we corrected all the way down to here, to this lower pivot. Yeah, your targets would be much reduced if we correct, if the C of the ABC corrects, let's just say for the sake of argument, it corrects to the previous bull market all-time high. That's when we get our impulse. Then you can see we have higher targets. We have much higher targets. So for people hodling, it's always more bullish to correct flat, always. For traders, they're just looking for a good entry, and for them it's always easy to enter taking a low like that. I think most traders would prefer us to go down, actually. Most traders would. All right, that is what I'm thinking about Bitcoin right now. I think that's been quite clear. I'm in a run along from yesterday at the moment. I've taken my profit from my original long, which I took from yesterday's live stream, and David took that as well, so that was good. And now I'm thinking about a short slightly higher up if I see a good reaction into this golden pocket. Session point of control, swing failure of that pivot, and then I'll be looking to take that down all the way down to, if I can, who knows, down here to this point of control. That would be my short idea that I have in my mind. You've got this. Yep, you've got this golden pocket there, and then you've also got some lots of single prints, so volume gaps, which often offer support. There is something else as well. I wanted to show you something, and let me see how that corresponds with my target. So right now my target is the point of control. If we go higher and I take a short, I'll be looking to target the point of control, which is at 67230. And then if I show you on the CME chart, and so CME chart is a futures chart which doesn't trade at the weekends, okay? And because it doesn't trade at the weekends, so right now the CME, the Bitcoin CME futures is closed, yeah? There's always a gap. There's a gap from when it closes to when it opens. Now, sometimes there's no gap, but it depends on when it opens. So if you close on Friday here, okay, and you open on Sunday night, whenever it opens, Sunday, yeah, at 10, you see it says Sunday at 10, it closes on Friday at 8, it opens here, you end up with a gap. This is a gap, okay? And what happens is that gaps usually fill. Usually is the operative word. Usually is a high probability of filling. So as you can see here, there was a gap was created and the price came down to fill the gap, and then the price came up, okay? It's usually what happens after gaps are formed. Now, as you can see, this gap here hasn't been filled yet because the price went up. Yeah. See, there was a gap here. Price went up to fill the gap, went down. The gapped up, came back down to fill the gap, went up. Okay. Usually gaps are filled. And at the moment, we're looking at a really big gap. Now, the interesting thing about gaps is they're kind of at like single prints in volume. Okay. So they fill, but then once you fill the gap, let's just say for the sake of argument, we fill this gap. If we go down and fill this gap, that becomes your support. As you fill it, it becomes support. And then the other interesting thing about gaps is sometimes, not all the time, sometimes if you can't fill it, then the gap itself becomes support. Yeah. So the question is, all right, see you, Zahid. Take care. Was it your battery low or my battery low? I think it was your battery low. Well, why don't you plug it in? But more likely than not, more likely if you come down to a gap, if you find support, it will go back up, but usually you will fill it and then you'll find support. So in the context of the CME gap, okay, what I'm going to do also is I'm going to plot the CME gap on the other chart. Let me just quickly mark it out just to have it, because I think it's quite important. So, and I don't know if people are aware of it, so it's always good to it's good education, really. So the open was 66505. So you go back to your other Bitcoin, 66505, and I can mark it off and see where that is. It's much lower. See, it's much lower. Do I have I'll call it a gap here. And then let's go back to the other chart and get the other figure here, which is the close 63600. Right. So you can clearly see there's a big gap in the price. Does that affect what I'm thinking of now? Let me have a look. Not really. I mean, potentially you can come back and back test the gap. And like I said, it could offer support. So that's the only thing that I'm thinking of. If we get if the price does drop and it overdrops, to fill these single prints, you know, you could get a situation where you come back in to back test the gap and you just pump out of it and you don't actually fill the gap. All you're doing is it just offers support. Now, if it's a big if for some reason you have, it's really, the price is really weak, there's a massive sell-off, whatever reason, there's a big liquidation event, who knows, then if you do get back into it, then it's more likely than not you'll go all the way down, fill it, it will offer support once you've filled that gap. Let's just bear that in mind. And then you've basically lost a lot of support lines. So then the trade to fill the gap would be just to long the bottom and then just take profit at the point of control. That would be the trade. That's a big if. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if we did see it happening, then it's something to bear in mind, and then that would be your trade. Okay, to fill the gap. You wouldn't expect the gap to fill and then continue. You would expect some kind of bounce at the bottom of the gap and probably going all the way back to the point of control. That would be really bearish. If that was happening, if we experienced that price action, then more likely than not, my harmonic would be in play. If that happened, then my harmonic would be actually in play, and it would look really bearish, but actually it would be bullish because you'd be going, this is a bullish harmonic. Okay, so there's a lot of ifs, and we just have to keep an eye on the price action to see what it does and how it behaves around different areas of interest. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm thinking. BTC up, then down, then see what happens. If we get a reaction, go up. If you lose that, then go down. If we go up from the reaction, do we get back above the bull market all-time high previous? If not, we're going back down. That's kind of the areas of interest. And if we are going up, then probably we're going up. Probably we're going to the all-time high and we're forming this megaphone. If we don't get a swing failure of this all-time high here, then there's going to be so much strength that it will just probably power through. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Good morning, Fox Physique. He says, new subscriber, love your channel and analysis, keep up the good work. Man, thank you very much. Well, as I've always said, this is all speculative. It's just an idea. Anything can happen, and the trade plans that I'm creating are if I see the price behave the way that I'm imagining. If I don't see it, I don't take the trade. I'm not looking to trade willy-nilly. I'm just looking to imagine future price action, and if I see it, it does what I think it could do at the areas of interest, I will take the trade. The most important thing for me is an invalidation. I need to know when I'm wrong. Yeah, if I take a trade and I don't know that I'm wrong, where I'm wrong, then I won't take the trade. So like yesterday, I had this trade plan in my yesterday stream. I planned it out and I took the trade. Basically, I was looking to lose. Have I got it here? Probably this diamond. Oh, I've deleted the brush strokes. It's not a problem. But basically, I had the idea of coming down, losing this level, then going back up. Basically, the invalidation is this kind of, as you go up, as you come down and you put in another pivot here, that becomes, this pivot here becomes your invalidation. And as you come back up, for me, as I came back above this swing failure level here, I took the trade, because then I don't expect the price to go up and then do that. So you have your invalidation. It's really important to have an invalidation. Actually, when I'm looking in, you see, hindsight is 2020, right? And when I'm looking at this price action here, I could have entered earlier if I wanted to, but I just don't like entering underneath once after we've lost support. I like to enter after we've reclaimed support. But here, if you look here, price goes down and its swing failure is this low. Okay. And then that low becomes your validation. It could quite easily have continued, but at least you have an invalidation. As you see the price kind of ranging here and then starts to work its way up, then you have an invalidation. Okay, it's really important to have an invalidation. That's the thing you're looking for when you're taking trades. When you need to know when you're wrong. And then obviously you need to have a take profit in mind as well. Okay. Oh, not that one, sorry. This one here. This one. This is the trade that I took. Sorry, my bad. I was looking at the wrong price action. Yesterday, that was the trade that I took. So it went down as it came down and up. As it came up here, I took the long, and then my invalidation was here. So effectively, you're looking for situations where you have an invalidation. Okay. And I'm still in the long. I've taken my profit and I'm actually just targeting that high there. That's your trade. Not easy. Really, it's not easy. But practice makes perfect. And that's all it is, really. You just have to practice. I don't recommend people learn to trade with their hodling account or their big amount. You're learning to trade, you just have to have a really small dollar account and practice with real money, but really small amounts, like $100 or something like that, until you get it right. That's the best idea. All right, that's Bitcoin. I don't really have more to say about that. Unless there's any questions, I'm going to move on. Have a look at some other things. I'll have a look at ETH BTC. Ooh, look at that. The big sell-off. It's not good. What does that mean? Well, it means that our alts can't pump. You know, when ETH BTC is weak, we're not seeing strength in altcoins. Yeah, there's a direct correlation between ETH BTC and alts. Yeah. So what we need is ETH BTC to pump. That's what we need, and we're not getting that right now. And it's looking bearish. I'm still bullish on ETH BTC. I'm still bullish, but I'm not seeing bullishness right now. I wouldn't sell. But I'm not seeing the right conditions for strength right now. I'm just looking at the higher time frame. I find it very unlikely that we're going to go all the way down here. I find that very unlikely, but you never know. Let me just have a look at the range again. I'm probably going to delete all of this actually. Yeah, let me just delete all my stuff because I'm not. I think sometimes it's good to just delete everything. See that? I just deleted all that. Hide the volume. so there's no bias. Just look at the chart. Let's have another look. Volume. Let me just hone in the time frame, because I want more info. I want all the info actually. Go to 3-day chart. It's annoying. Just mark that off. Point of control. Value area low. Okay. So look at where we are now, and you can see we've there isn't much respect on the value area high, but we are like reclaiming it, losing it, reclaiming it, losing it, reclaiming it, losing it. I don't think that's bearish, to be honest with you. I think that's actually quite bullish. I think if it was bearish, you would have just lost it and it would have gone down. I don't think you're going to be seeing a prolonged price action at an area where the price should really either reject or reclaim to go back up. So I'm kind of feeling that that's not that bearish. Doesn't mean that it can't go down. And then obviously you have this this range as well. So I'll do it from here, from this candle to current price action on the 3-day chart, and you can clearly see that there's a higher range which we haven't been able to get to. Mark those off as well. Value area low. Rename those to value area low. Point of control. Okay, so you have your ranges there. Just pull all of that into a group. I'm going to have a look at this range here as well, actually, because I'm interested. Where would you take it from? Probably this candle until this candle. To the point of control, this one. Okay, you see that? So it is bouncing off this previous range value area low. That's why it's bouncing there. Let me just mark that off. Memes are draining liquidity. 2, Other alts struggling relatively. Yeah, the memes are. That's what Fox Physique is saying. We're above this previous range value area low. We're back into the overall range value area high. We're rejecting from the higher range value area low. We're kind of stuck. I mean, I feel like ETH BTC, the price is a little bit stuck. I'm not really crazy bearish on this. I'm not bearish on this, but you know, until this finds strength, then we're not going to get alts pumping. Right now, in the context of where we are, there's two areas of strength. One would be a swing failure off that pivot. And then obviously the next one would be to reclaim the value area high and flip it back into some kind of support. Real strength, like alt season type strength, is to get into this higher range value area low. That would be, I think that would be alt season. For me, that would be like a real important step to reclaiming this higher range is really important. As you can see, we've rejected from it once, twice. So getting back into it, flipping it into support, you're back into this higher range. And also you're kind of changing the pattern, because you can see that this whole move down against BTC, ETH has literally been making lower highs. Yeah. And do we make a lower low here? Look, we've been making lower lows too. See that? Do we make a lower low here to go up and make a higher high? Or does this trend continue? Right now, you can clearly see there's a downtrend and market structure hasn't changed yet. Potentially it has. Potentially it has, because look, even though I've gone to lower high up there, you could argue that this was your lower high. That's your first higher high, because you made a lower low here. But now, to confirm a change, you have to take out this pivot here. That's really important. So until we take out this pivot, this one here, this is the low, we're still kind of in bearish market structure. We've made a higher high, but if now you go down and make a lower low, then that higher high becomes your lower low, and you can just ignore these highs here. And so actually we'll see now. We'll see what happens. I had this idea of a diamond pattern here, but it all depends, because if you're now making some kind of, you know, if you're now going down and you're making a lower low, you've invalidated this pattern, and you're just continuing bearish market structure. So even though I think ETH is bullish, it's not really bullish while we're in bearish market structure. And fundamentally, what we all want is we want this pivot right here to be taken out with the price, and we want to reclaim of this higher range value area low. Until we get that, there's no alt season. Not yet. Not yet. Let me see if I can. The really messy diamond, but let me just see if I can draw it out a bit better. How many degrees was that? It's not great, is it? It's not great at all. That side of it looks good, but this side doesn't. Could that be more like that? No, that doesn't look good either. That's what you want. The left side looks good, but the right side doesn't. If you take that down to there, that would look better. But then this kind of has to match roughly 36 degrees or 39. Yeah, it's looking a little bit weak. Right, we just have to keep an eye on it, but I'm not seeing crazy strength here right now, which is a shame. That being said, a little swing failure here. See that? That's a swing failure, and we've just swing failured the lows of the last 2 days. So that's your first sign of strength right there. Or I wouldn't say first sign of strength, I would say first sign of lack of weakness, or maybe the weakness is ending or coming to an end. You have a local range here. The next sign of strength that people will be looking for is to reclaim, for the price to reclaim this local range. We get back into the local range, that'll be nice, because then you're probably heading up to the top of the range. Okay, so at the moment this is not a bad sign. You see this, a little swing failure. You got two kind of inverse, almost inverse hammers, not really inverse hammers. They're what are they? They're dojis. Is evening star? What are they? Not evening star. Dojis. What? I keep on getting the names wrong. Gravestone. You've got like two gravestone dojis into the lows. Take the liquidity from that, and we're back up. That's quite bullish actually right now, what I'm seeing. What's the reaction like? But we are making lower closes, so we need to break that trend right now, and there's a little bit of a trend right now of lower closes. But this, for all intents purposes, this is a really strong reaction on ETH BTC. This isn't looking too bad right now, and if we can get like a higher close, a little back test, so maybe we can start moving out of these lows. It's not bad, look. The last 2 hours, 3 hours. What's the volume like? Bit net. Right, I'll have to keep an eye on that. Let me put this local range volume area in as well, just for reference. Value area high, look at local. Point of control is at the same place as this value area high. So there's quite strong resistance in the way. And then you've got your value area low, which is there. That's your local value area low. And keep an eye on those. Get rid of those fixed ranges now. Look at the candles. I mean, we're into support. And the weekly level here. Don't really want to lose that as support. It'd be nice to hold this weekly level and then just go all the way back up to that one. That would be really nice. I think for that to happen, Bitcoin's going to have to pump. Yeah, that's what I'm imagining. Okay, we keep that in mind. These are two nearest like resistance levels. Current weekly level we're at. Any daily ones? David, good morning. Okay, yeah. Go back and watch the other stuff. No worries. Okay. Got like a daily level there. Bit of resistance. That's probably at the local. Yeah. There's a little bit of resistance on the way. But I think you get back into this local value area. That would be strength. Get back into there. Then you're pushing up to there. That would be really nice. The alts can pump then, and then once this, if we do get back up to there, then you're into resistance again. For all intents purposes, there's resistance here as well. And it's amazing because there is a real correlation between the strength, this strength of ETH BTC, and the strength of altcoins. I do feel like we need to reverse and go back up now with ETH BTC. So we have to see how this plays out. I'll keep an eye on it. I'm not going to complicate my charts. I'm just going to leave it like that and then see what happens. Have a look at Pax Gold. So Pax Gold against BTC, you see that we're at the volume area right now, at the value area low. And technically you could argue that we're at support. The question is, does support hold? That's the question, okay? If support holds, then we're going to see weakness in Bitcoin against gold, okay? But right now I'm not seeing crazy strength for gold to Bitcoin, yeah? I'm not seeing that right now. I'm just seeing consolidation on top of support. In a downtrend, consolidation on support is bearish. We have a clear downtrend, and every time we get consolidation on support on a downtrend, you can see here consolidation on support, here consolidation on support, and it's bearish. So if we continue to get consolidation on support here, okay, the last time it happened was here. You see that? March 21. That was COVID, and then it came right back down to November 21. And then actually gold pumped. Amazing. So we're kind of in the same place now as pre the last Bitcoin. Is it the last Bitcoin halving? Yeah. 21. COVID-19. No, that's not COVID. My bad. COVID was up here. COVID-19. That was COVID. So let me see. You see gold lost a lot of value to Bitcoin after COVID. See that? This was at the end of the last Bitcoin bull market alt season. That was alt season. Then you had the crash. That was the summer where Bitcoin crashed and everything crashed. Then we had the pump all the way up to November 21. That was the end of the bull season. So we're basically at the same place at the end of the bull market last time round. For all intents purposes, what I'm looking at is a pretty ugly pattern here. It's like a cup and handle in reverse. That's the cup, that's the handle, that's the cup. How does that work out? Usually it's the cup and handle. This is the handle and cup. I don't know. Handle and cup, cup and handle. Are we going to get a little handle here? It's pretty ugly, huh? Let me look. How does that look? That's the inverse. This is quite bearish. If Bitcoin managed to flip that level into resistance, look at it. You're in price discovery against gold. Yeah, that's effectively what would happen, and maybe you're going to get like a 1-to-1. Let me have a look. Let me just figure this out. That's your 1-to-1. All the way down to here. We'll keep an eye on this and see how far we get. From that point down to this point, up to there. So you kind of have to look at this at the higher time frame, not on the lower time frame. So up to there, 1-to-1 would be down to here. That is from the current price action to the 1-to-1. That's another 80% decline. Gold will lose 80% value against Bitcoin if this continues now. Let's see why it doesn't continue. Don't see why not. That'll be your target. And then you have a little bit of a pattern here, don't you? You have a little bit of a... That's it. That's by October, roughly. Look, by November, October. Then you could bounce just like this and try and work your way back up. Basically following this fractal, actually. Just keeping an eye on this fractal. That'd be quite interesting. Let me look. This one here. Maybe break down, bounce, and all the way back up. Basically the whole lot. Try that again. Let's do it from the drop. I'll do it from the drop to the bounce. Pull that down all the way to there. It's like November. All right, we'll keep an eye on that. Who knows? You never know, but look, could be. Yeah. It's possible. It's following the same path. Bitcoin halving was here. Look, Bitcoin halving's here. Drop all the way down to a 1-to-1 to complete this harmonic. Bounce. Back down and then up. And then let's see what happens. There was a lot of volume in this buy up here. You see this? That was quite. It's because there was volume. A lot of volume went back into the gold. Don't know what that means really. Looking at this, see, according to this, we're really oversold. Yeah, on the CCI is looking oversold, but for all intents purposes, this could range here for a little bit before it goes back up. If we are going to go back up, it's just because we're oversold, it doesn't mean the price can't continue going down. It just means as it goes down, there'll be a lot of bearish divergences forming. Yeah, potentially, but you wouldn't really think about potential. You wouldn't really necessarily think about getting back into gold until you saw a clear cross of this minus 100. That's like a real important clue to seeing a good time to get back into gold. When I look at all of this, it's looking bearish for gold against Bitcoin. Yeah, it's looking quite bearish. There's no hope. We're making low lows on the CCI. We're making low lows on the price. There's no real divergences here, actually, on the weekly time frame. The monthly you've got divergences slightly, but because you just made a lower low on a CCI and the price is slightly higher. But if we were to drop down, then it would just be, we'd be in price discovery against gold to the downside. That's not looking bad, actually. I think that's quite nice. Let me have a look at the total market cap. This is the monthly candle. We're into resistance, but it's okay. It looks okay. We could have continuation here, really. Yeah. When you look at the way the candles are forming, when you look at the previous bull market, look, we had our first red candle here. You know, we're basically here. It's kind of where we are. We could get a nice, like a 5-month run all the way up. It's possible. There's no reason why this history can't repeat itself. We could get a really nice run up. I've got some areas of interest where I'll be looking to take profit on the total market cap. I'll be looking at this very keenly, okay? And the profit that I'll be taking will be back into USDT once we hit those areas of interest, yeah? Because you could be seeing resistance and pullbacks potentially, but I mean, who knows? Because looking at how the price moved up here, who knows? Do a trend-based fib here, anyway. From here to here to here. You see, as it got to the 1-to-2, it did pull back. But in the way, intermediary, it just ignored it. So it might, but this is quite strong confluence. So I mean, I am interested in these two areas. 4.5 trillion, 7.3 trillion. And who knows, could we get up to 13 trillion? Be interesting to see. Okay. Yeah. Keep an eye on that. That's not bad. I like that chart. So we're getting a bit of a pullback on TRVL, which is interesting. Look at this. We're basically back down to the low. We're now coming back to retest. There's a little bit of an SR flip going on here. Don't know if you can see it, but we're basically at an SR flip now. And good morning, Hector Manuel Bruno Rios. So yeah, what do I see from this? Well, a couple of things. I'm seeing decreasing volume, decreasing prices. Now, when you have decreasing volume, decreasing prices, that means that the price is it's not bearish really. Decreasing prices, it's normal. It's a consolidation where you're selling. People are selling off, but they're slowly selling less and less and less. That's what's happening here. So if you look at all the red candles, you can see the red candles selling less and less and less. The volume is decreasing. And generally speaking, the green candles are quite bullish because you have increasing volume or quite high volume. All right. So I'm not feeling bearish at all. On buy bet, you can see that it's decreasing volume, but slightly higher volume today than yesterday. Let me have a look at KuCoin. Yeah, yesterday had more volume than today. Let me have a look at Gates. Decreasing volume. So the Gate and MEX are saying the same thing. Decreasing prices, decreasing volume. I think it's a large part of what's happening with TRVL and all the altcoins has got to do with Bitcoin. What's happening with Bitcoin? So Bitcoin causes uncertainty in the wider market, but all I can see when I'm looking at the higher time frame, I'm seeing decreasing prices, decreasing volume. Okay, so for all intents and purposes, that's not bearish. That's quite bullish, and I think we're in a correction, and so I keep on looking at this and I think to myself, I mean, we haven't got the crazy impulse that I'm really expecting on TRVL. Yeah, so you might look at the monthly time frame and go, wow, look at this. On the monthly time frame, this is quite impulsive, and yeah, it is. So this could continue. You know, you could just get green candle, green candle, green. That could happen. This could just keep on going. Yeah, it's possible. There's no reason to think that this can't keep on pumping, and this could be the beginning of a move. It looks like it is, but we haven't changed market structure on the weekly time frame yet. We're still trying to take out this pivot on the weekly time frame. That's really important, and then a higher low is going to be really important on the weekly time frame too. So when you're looking at the weekly time frame, it's still not there. And actually, when I'm looking at a weekly time frame, I'm not fond of any of this impulsiveness. Actually, this is the impulsiveness that I want to see, like this. Yeah, where you have like green, 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 like literally one red, and it's a nothing. It's a like an insignificant red. It's like a doji at the highs, and then green, 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 and I'm not really seeing that, so I'm not fond of this impulsive move at all. Maybe this is the wave one, as I previously tried to analyze. Let me go back to my Elliott wave. I've been looking at this all the time to see where we are, and basically that. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're in the 5, but I can see 5 waves here. And I can see, you can't really see them. So you have to zoom in. One, two, three, four, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. See 5 waves. This is a correction, and I can see 5 waves here. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. 2. Yeah, I'm not fond of any of this, actually, to be honest with you. I'm just like thinking about it. And even though this is quite bullish too, because you have this bullish reaction, there was no continuation. So maybe this isn't it. I don't know. I am struggling with this. And I think part of the reason why I'm struggling is because when I look at some other tokens and some other altcoins, it's very easy to see. And actually on this is very difficult to see. It's not easy to see at all, the Elliott waves. And actually what I'm looking for is green, like really the price pushing up, like crazy pushing up. And so when I look at some other tokens, I see that. And when I look at TRVL, I don't really see that. So I am wondering whether we are still just accumulating and we still haven't impulsed out. Because look where we are. We're still back underneath. We're back underneath 9 cents. Like what the hell? I do wonder whether we have to get past 9 cents before we have an impulse. You know, I don't like to see red candles in impulsive price action. You know, I like to just see green. And when you're looking at other tokens, when you see the impulse, you don't really see red candles. It's just a level up in the way the price moves. And I'm not seeing that. So I am wondering whether I'm just prematurely trying to create something which doesn't exist. Okay, and maybe we just have to wait and be patient for the real impulse. Excuse me. I am wondering that. Now, zooming into the current price action though, this was quite impulsive, but still 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah, it's not really. Probably to there, then you have a correction and you have your 5. I don't know. To there. Let me see wave 5. I drew it here. One, ABC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe this whole thing is still corrective and we still haven't formed our 5 yet. That's what I'm thinking right now. Still. ABC, 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 ABC. Maybe we're forming a complicated correction here, and the key is that we don't lose the 1. And if you suddenly start losing the 1, yeah, then maybe this whole thing is none of this is a wave 5. Maybe this whole thing is just the whole thing is corrective, and that's the other alternative. So whereas I am still thinking this was the wave 1, 2, 3. Maybe this whole thing is still corrective, and that's the only other idea that I have, and we still have an impulse away from this area. That being said, yeah, That's kind of what, that's the other alternative that I'm thinking of with the way we are, with where we are with regards to the price. Maybe that was the 3, and maybe this isn't this 4 hasn't completed yet. We're still in a correction. So I've been thinking about this quite a lot. A, B, C, is that possible? Is it possible that that's your A, B, C, and this was an A, B, C, and now we're forming in like an A, B, C to go up for the final 5th wave of this wave 1? Okay, that's the only other thing that's in my mind. Now that's also possible, and so actually that would be really bullish if we're still in a correction. That would be really bullish if we're still correcting, and that was your impulse, and with this whole thing as a correction. The reason why that would be bullish is because then you can have a really nice wave 5, and wherever your wave 4 correction ends, let's just say for the sake of argument it's let me just pull these. That's that one. Okay, so let me just pull that out. That's what I want. Go to the higher time frame to have a look, see what it looks like there. Yeah, because look, this is like an ABC now. ABC, ABC. That's what it's looking like to me right now. I'm not seeing like the last impulse, and for all intents purposes you could argue that it just has to hold here for the final impulse, but maybe the wave 4 is actually ends somewhere here, wherever it ends, and then we impulse, and then we have a really strong impulse too. I'm thinking 17.5, like that, and this whole thing is just a corrective wave. I don't know where this 4 could end if that was true, but let's just say for the sake of argument we come back into the golden pocket at 7 cents. Then you could do a trend based fib on that. And see where it comes. It would probably overshoot the golden pocket if it was to come lower. Yeah, that's the other thing that I have in mind. We had a nice V-shaped recovery here. That's a very strong recovery with increasing volume. We have a little bit of continuation, and now we're having a correction. Okay, so for all intents purposes, I'm looking at it now. I'm not necessarily thinking that this was our final wave. Maybe this was still corrective. And the reason why I'm thinking like that is because if that was the 1, this was the 2, and that was the 3, then you've only come back in to test the 1 on the wave 4. That's fine, but maybe we're not seeing the impulse yet. I'm not sure yet. I don't know. Does that look impulsive to me, to you, or not? Well, you want to see 5 waves, and I'm not quite seeing the 5 waves unless that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's your 5. unless that's your 5. And now we're in a correction. I don't think it necessarily matters right now because we're only kind of considering the wave 1. I think later on down the line, it's going to be really important to see what happens down the line, because the closer we get to the end of the bull market, we'll be looking for a wave 5. Okay. And actually, for most people, they'll be looking to take a profit at the end of wave 3. Most people will be looking for that. So because we're early and it's just forming and the token is still kind of hasn't broken out yet, this is very kind of, it's entertainment really. It's very speculative. Nothing negates the higher time frame ideas and fib levels that we've been talking about. And so the most important one is that fib on the log chart. So if I was to go back to MEX and pull it out, what is that one? Oh, I had it to there. Let me see where it is. I've got it on my Wyckoff folder. So what you can clearly see is that these higher time frame fib levels, the 236, the 382, are reacting. There's a reaction. Yeah, the price is not ignoring these higher time frame fib levels. And even though I thought possibly we crossed 9 cents and we can clear this 382 because we've already hit it once, actually we're still getting a little bit of a reaction. You see reaction once, reaction twice. Now we're pulling back. This is healthy. This is a healthy correction because we have decreasing volume. We just have to see where it finds support for the price to go back up. Is this wave 1 complete? Was that your wave 1? Time will tell. You know, time will tell. We have to just keep an eye on it. I would have expected a little bit more of an impulsive wave 1. I would have expected, honestly, I was thinking to myself, wave 1 should at least make a higher high on this. That would make sense. It doesn't make sense to me that we have a wave 1 and we haven't made a higher high in the weekly time frame. Like, then where's the impulse? The impulse is impulsive. It's going to push the price and people are going to buy it without even thinking about the price. And I'm not seeing that right now. And so that's what makes me hesitate. So maybe, you know, maybe actually what we are doing is just back testing 9 cents. Now, these launch price levels of 9 cents, it could take a while to clear it. And I've seen that before because I've been looking at some other tokens where the price at the launch price, let me see if I can find one. I think it was Voigt. Was it Voigt? Let me pull that quickly. Do I have it to hand here? Or is it lower down? Yeah. There you see the launch price here. Basically, as you cleared the launch price, it was stuck at the launch price on this token for a period of 43 days, and it still came back to test the launch price again. And that test lasted another 30 days. Okay, and for all intents and purposes, that was the correction on this token, and now the token is pushing higher. Okay, and that's not the only token that I've seen where the launch price has been tested for a long period of time. So the other one that I've been looking at is Quanks. I don't know how to pronounce it. Someone corrected me, but where is the launch price here? I've got it here. There. So you see, this is the daily chart. This is slightly different, but it came to reject one time, and then as it crossed, it was at the launch price for 4 or 5 days before it's cleared it. Slightly different. And we're having slightly different behavior in terms of the way TRVL is trying to get past the launch price. So you have the launch price, which is 9 cents. We've tested it once here, twice, 3 times, potentially 4 times. Now we're cleared it, and now we're back testing it. This could take a while, huh? This could take a while. Not sure how long it's going to take. This is not 9 cents is not the end price on this token. Like, that's what people need to realize. In the future, the launch price is going to become the floor of the price of this token, and anything accumulated underneath 9 cents is basically going to be your bank account. Yeah, basically in the future. This is 9 cents. That's the line in question, right? And right now we're trying to get through it, and so you can clearly see, let me mark it out with one of these. Okay, you can see how 9 cents in the past played a pivotal role in the price. It wasn't exact, and then you can see here 9 cents flipped into resistance. You can see here that as the price was trying to impulse out above 9 cents for 2 days, it struggled before it broke out, and then it was holding here until it finally failed. And then now that we're back, you can clearly see that there was a rejection there, this whole thing was a rejection, and now we're just trying to find support. We're trying to flip 9 cents. That's what's happening right now. But in the future, we're going to break it and hold it as support, and then we're just going to continue, right? And then I don't imagine us ever coming back down to lose 9 cents, just simply because it was the launch price of this token. That was back in November 21, and now we're in April, or end of March, beginning of April 24. We're back at the launch price effectively. Once we flip the launch price, we're going to be going up. That will become your support line. But at the moment, what I can see is that these higher time frame fib lines are reacting. So I don't have a reason to think otherwise. As we go up, why 17.5 won't react, why 29.4 won't react, why as we go up, why 61 won't react, or further 95 or the all-time high. Like, I'm seeing that. It's just that right now, because of the way the price moved down, we're just trying to clear liquidity from previous price action. So if you think about all these people who were trapped as the price came up, they sold into that to break even, which is what's pulling the price down. But I mean, for all intents purposes, I'm seeing quite a bullish correction. As long as, I mean, the higher we hold, the more bullish we are. So if we can just kind of hold this level, okay, the onus is on the bulls to just keep on buying and keep on accumulating. I can't really emphasize that more. If we want higher prices as bulls, we need flatter corrections. Yeah, the flatter the corrections, the higher we go. In the future, that's going to be really pertinent. Yeah, when we finally do our wave 4 correction after we do a wave 3. Yeah, and then the only way to do that is for people at key levels to take profit and put orders to prevent the price going down and exhausting the price going down. That's the only way to do that. And then you get flat corrections, and then you have higher targets. And so even though deep corrections are bullish, for higher prices we need flat corrections. And that's really the message that I wanted to share with most people today. I'm not feeling bearish at all. Okay, on TRVL I'm maximum bullish. But we just have to see this through. Like, it's kind of annoying really, isn't it? Because we all want to impulse to the next level. Yeah. Hector Manuel Bruno Rios, Baba Yaga Raw. Oh, you're from Raw? What's your character name? Amrex. What's your character name, Hector? Why crypto? Gary. Oh my god, Gary. So yeah, I don't really have anything to say on the TRVL. There's a nice daily level here that will probably offer some kind of support, as long as people put orders there. And we haven't yet lost this wick low here. I'm kind of still seeing that there's a little bit of an SR flip going on here. And it's very possible with a low liquidity token like this that we go down, bounce up, and we just head up. You know, like, one thing I know about TRVL is when the price is declining, don't sell. Because often you'll sell right at the low and the price will just reverse. Okay. And if I do some kind of fib pull on that, I think obviously I've said this before, I think 6.5 to 7 cents is a really good buy. But you know, we're at a fib line now. Look, we're at the 382 of this fib pull. We're back at it. We're testing it as support. Do we lose it? Yeah, it is possible we lose that level, but then you're just finding support slightly lower down. Eventually we'll break out to the upside. Eventually. Okay, eventually. In with these low liquidity tokens, the name of the game is accumulation. You're not trading these now because of the illiquid nature of these tokens. Once we get to higher prices, once the market is pumping like crazy, once retail is buying this token as much as they can at market and pushing the price up, then you can start thinking about taking profit at higher levels. And nothing's changed when it comes to my idea of the future. When I look at the monthly time frame, for all intents purposes, I'm seeing bullishness. Look at this. That's your Adam and Eve pattern forming, and we still haven't broken out of the neckline. Maybe that's when we're going to see the impulsiveness, a breakout of 9 cents. We're still not there yet, and maybe it's going to happen next month. Maybe we have a little pullback, and with Bitcoin we break out. As Bitcoin breaks out to new all-time highs, we're going to be breaking out. And I think the higher we can correct, the better. The flatter we can correct, the better. So something you have to remember is that when Bitcoin pulls back, the whole crypto market pulls back. Okay? And when crypto goes up, the whole crypto market goes up. Okay? So as Bitcoin corrects, if people are holding the price up of their altcoins to be flat corrections while Bitcoin is going down, if altcoins go flat, or if even better, if altcoins go up, then when Bitcoin goes up, the altcoins really go up. Yeah. And that's kind of what we want, or what we need. We need, as Bitcoin goes down, we need to stay flat. And we need to, if all go up. And then when Bitcoin starts going up, then we're pumping. And we saw a little bit of that with this correction here, because this correction here, the whole market was bleeding as we were going up here. The whole market was bleeding. Yeah. and the market is still bleeding. And so eventually, once the market stops bleeding, you see how we've adjusted our price. We're at higher prices now. Okay. And that's what we need. We need to have as flatter corrections as possible, or extended corrections, like just more interest, like continued interest in accumulating the token. Eventually, we'll get into that kind of FOMO moment where everyone is buying at whatever cost. That's my TRVL update. I don't really have anything to say except it'd be a good idea. Like, look at it. It's at 8.5 cents now. You're effectively right now from the high pivot that's put in, we're 28% cheaper. The next level is only about 7% lower, the next level down. And then lower down, you know, you just look at these fibs. I hope we hold here, actually. That would be really bullish. We can hold here as Bitcoin corrects. And then when Bitcoin starts to go up, we can start going up. And we just have to do that. All right. That's TRVL. I don't have much to say. Slurf is quite interesting because I had this idea yesterday, and look what happened. Almost touched. This was an SFP of this low here, swing failure. Look at that reaction. There's a lot of it. There's a lot of interest in Slurfer. That's what I'm seeing. I don't necessarily think the price will continue going up. I think it's very likely it could do that, but that was a really strong reaction, so it's a lot more bullish than you think. And that it was basically the front, the point of control, and the golden pocket was front run. And as the price failed to close underneath that low, someone market bought, and it was probably a short. Someone in a big short position probably market bought that. Probably this whole move up are just shorts closing, probably. So I wouldn't get too bullish yet. What you want to see are longs opening, yeah? And it's still not at the right place. You want to be a bit lower into this support level to see longs start opening. So just bear that in mind. It looks bullish, but it was a bullish reaction. And I think the bullish reaction was someone with a big short wanted to just close as they saw that the price wasn't able to get below this low. All right, what time is it now? It's 12:19. Prop S is taking a pullback a little bit. Look at that, but it's been bullish as crazy. That's a nice flat correction forming. Anything else interesting on the charts? These stupid meme coins. I wish people would just stop buying. What a waste of space. Look at that. Just a waste of space. Could be in a wave 5 now. Maybe that was the fall. I was hoping for lower. It's not going to happen. Don't know. What a waste of space. What's this Kermit? All the memes are pumping. Look, Myro. What the hell? Rubbish. All these rubbish coins are pumping. Pepe, look, they're all pumping. All these meme coins are pumping. EGC pumped for a little bit, and then it's just hit the golden pocket and it's fallen back. Let's have a look at Gary again. Don't know why. There's nothing to see. No, there's nothing to see. You're in a little bit of a triangle here. Gary. I think what you want, look, it looks very similar to this price action here. It's very similar what you're experiencing here. So I think what you want to happen here is just to go down now. And then, you know, that's what you want to happen. Look at that. I did an analysis on VIT and look, it's still good, huh? I wanted it to come back down here, but actually it's still quite strong. All right, that's the end of the stream. I'm gonna take I'm gonna finish it for today, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Look at Bitcoin again. Yeah.